back to another video. Sorry it's been like a week, but we tried a few other videos, but they didn't do very well, so this is the one we're uploading.
We had a few other ideas, they didn't turn out the way we wanted them to.
Yeah.
So hopefully you enjoyed this video that we're making for you.
Yeah.
So we're going to show you how to make a sugarcane farm in this video. I designed it myself. I didn't design everything, like only a tiny bit I didn't design, like the flying machine and the minecart unloader. And apart from that, I designed pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So, let's get on with how to build it then. This farm is more about being easy to build and more about getting the resources quickly and things like that, so you can easily do it in survival mode than the efficiency of the farm. But if you make it on a large scale, which you can, because you can change how big this farm is depending on what size you want and how much sugarcane you want to get, so the efficiency can vary depending on what you want to get from it. You can you can AFK it overnight if you want to. There's a built-in AFK chamber. There's as long as you got blocks above you or slabs or anything like that, phantoms can't spawn, so you don't have to worry about dying. And as long as you put at least one torch or any sort of light source beneath your feet, you should be fine. So you can AFK for hours and hours and hours, and you'll get tons of sugarcane.
And you can turn the sugarcane into paper, and you can trade 24 paper to a librarian to get 1 emerald, and then you can spend your emeralds on other things to villagers, like if you trade to an armor smith, you can get like enchanted diamond armor for about 40 emeralds. And also it could be lower than 24 pieces of paper. If you've like got hero of the village from completing a raid, it probably will be like, I don't know, 10 pieces of paper, but if you hit them, they make their prices higher, so it might be like 28 pieces of paper.
As I was saying about the resources, you can add more powered rails so that the minecart goes faster, and you get the sugarcane faster if you want to, but gold is quite expensive. There are farms you can build, so you can easily get gold in a large amount, but if you don't want to build those other farms, and gold is a precious resource that you can't waste, then you might want to use some more just normal rails. You can also use levers to power the powered rails instead of redstone blocks. It all depends really. Anything that gives a source of redstone you can use.
There is a new way to get gold. There's the new nether update, and there's gold ores like in the nether, and they drop gold ingots, and they're not that rare to find. You find them often. You're just going around the nether. So the new nether update is here. I'm wearing the armor, the netherite armor, and my skin is one of the blocks. The new blocks called the basalt block.
So I'm going to show you the resources now. They're going to come on screen now. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of leaves for this build, but it's actually not as much as it seems. Getting 6 stacks of leaves almost, it doesn't take that very long. So if you have a pair of shears or something like that, or silk touch pickaxe, you can just go in a forest or something. It'll take less than 10 minutes to get this amount of leaves.
Yeah.
It's really easy to do. And I'd recommend bringing 1 to 3 extra blocks of each thing if you are a person that loses things quite often.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players like that in Minecraft, and you're probably going to want to build this quite close to your base as well, just as an extra note, so that you might be able to leave it running while you're doing other things in your game.
Because you could like build stuff within your base, or be building your base and have the farm nearby, so the farm's going while you're doing that, because if you have it far away, you're not going to have it loaded in, so it's not going to produce anything.
Okay, now we're going to show you how to build it, so let's get on with the tutorial for it. So the first thing you going to do when you start building the farm is laying out some rails that look a bit like this. So obviously you don't have to use redstone blocks, and you don't have to use levers. You can use any redstone source that you want. You can use redstone torches. Obviously levers would probably be the cheapest option, so you can do that if you want. You can do redstone blocks if you just want to use those to make it a little bit easier for you if you have lots of redstone on you at the moment. So you just want to make one like this. This is going to be the front of the farm over here with the start of the rail on this side, and it's going to be going long ways. You can take screenshots now and just build this in your world the way it is now. Remember, the start of the farm is on the left, on the bottom. Now, I didn't make this clear in the last clip, but between the powered rails there should be 7 blocks. So a powered rail, 7 blocks, and then another powered rail after that 7th block. So after you've done all of those rails and you've placed them all down, you're going to want to put sand on top of every single one of those rails except for 2 rows on this side and 1 row on this side. And also, you're going to want to put slabs in between the sand where there are no rails underneath. And these can be any kind of slab, it doesn't matter what slab you choose. And you're also going to want to put blocks on the end as well. This is where we're going to be putting our water for the sugarcane to grow. So I wouldn't recommend putting the water in yet because it'll make a mess of everything. The rails will pop off. Trust me, you don't want that. So don't put the water in yet. Now we're into stage 3 at the build of the sugarcane farm. This is where we build the flying machine part of it. So for this, it's probably the most technical part. So you're going to want to get everything I have in my inventory right here. If you want to go right next to this rail in the corner where the front is going to be, and this is the bottom corner. So it's going to be in line with the redstone block or whatever else you may have here. And then you just want to go 2 blocks behind here and then place a block on the 3rd one. Then you want to go up by 4 and break the bottom 3. Doing that. So now we're going to start the flying machine. This is going to be the corner of the flying machine. We're going to go over by 4. I'm making it out of honey blocks so that I get less lossage from the sugarcane. Then you're going to want to glaze terracotta. It could be any kind of glazed terracotta, and then another piece of glazed terracotta here, with a normal piston facing this way. I forgot to mention, this design is from Silent Whisperer. It's quite a reliable one. It's very good for farms and building and things like that. And it's just a really good flying machine. So I'd really recommend his channel. I'll leave a link in the description and as in the video as always. Yeah, so after you've placed these slime blocks and the terracotta and the normal piston, you're going to want to place a sticky piston here with an observer facing, is it this way? Yes, facing this way. So after you've done that, you're probably going to want to put an obsidian block or any other immovable object behind it so it doesn't start flying away halfway through building it. So on the other side, you just want to get some temporary blocks and place them like this, and place another sticky piston right there, not on top, by there. So after you've placed this sticky piston, you're going to place another grey glazed terracotta. It doesn't have to be grey, I don't know why I said that. So then you're just going to place 4 more honey blocks behind it, or slime blocks, like this. And then you're going to place another normal block here. After that, you're going to need to place another temporary block and then an observer going into the back of this sticky piston, so it should look like this now. So you want to get rid of the temporary block and put an obsidian block there instead, so that when it comes back it doesn't try and fly that way either. You got to put this thing in a jail kind of, so it doesn't escape. And then you place another obsidian block here, because we want to keep these bits separated when they come closer. And after that, we're going to put the activation for the flying machine. So this is a temporary block. Place another block here, remove the temporary block, and make a little pattern here. Just like this, copy what I'm doing, so it should look like this. And now you've got to be careful with the redstone repeater, and you've got to be careful with the timings. So this one going into the obsidian block here should be on 4 ticks. Another one going into this glazed terracotta here should be on 2 ticks. And then another one on 4 ticks behind the one on 2 ticks. And after that, you just want to place some redstone dust connecting all of those repeaters together so it looks like that. And this is the end of this step. Now that we've built the flying machine, we can build the hopper and dropper clocks that will be setting our flying machine off to destroy the sugarcane. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to come across to here. So the back of the flying machine is here, go across 1 block and then back 1 block. And once you have that, you're going to want to build up so that it's, oh, I wasn't supposed to break that. So I'll just replace that now. And then you just want to build so it's just by the observer, but a block in between them, like this. So after you've got that, you then want to place a redstone dust by here, build up a few more blocks, a redstone comparator, a sticky piston on top. This is going to be quite hard to do, because you're going to need to crouch to do this. And this might be a good time to place our hoppers in. So let's place the hoppers in. Place a hopper here and a hopper here. We can keep that block there, that's not a temporary block. And then we build up another block like this, and it's almost done the Etho hopper clock. This is a very old design. It's from Etho, you might have heard of him, he's been on YouTube for a very long time. He's on Hermitcraft, so you can check his channel out and see what he's doing. So, we're going to make this Etho hopper clock exactly, let me just place a redstone block here. We're going to make it exactly 1 minute long, which if you didn't know, is 2 stacks and 22 of any block you want. So you just get 2 stacks and 22. And now this is going to go backwards and forth every single minute. So now you just want to take an output from this redstone block and make sure that the observer is facing this way. And then you're going to want to place a dropper facing this way. Get some more temporary blocks. You might just need 1. And then place another dropper. Make sure it's facing inwards to the other one. And after you've done that, you can then place a temporary block. This is not a temporary block here. This is a temporary block actually. So then you place a piece of redstone here, a sticky piston here. You need another block on the other side. As you can see then it just clicked, that means it's been for 1 minute. And also you're going to want to put an obsidian, if you haven't already, in front of the flying machine, because this will definitely make it fly away if you don't do that. And then you place another sticky piston, a block of redstone underneath it, and just like the other one we need 2 comparators facing out like this, and that's pretty much done. Just have 10 items, they can be whatever items you want. We're going to make this flying machine go every 10 minutes, so how many items you put in this one is how many minutes you want it to go for. So if you want it to go every 20 minutes, you can put 20 items in, or you can just do 10 like I'm doing. I would suggest doing 10 because it gives enough time for the crops to grow, but also you can, it's not so slow that it basically never harvests. So after you do that, you see it fired again. You want to place an observer facing the piston here. Make sure it's 1 block lower than the previous observer we put. Then you're going to want to put a block here, connecting this bit where you've put the repeaters before, and then just a piece of redstone here. And that should be all done for this part of the build. So we're almost there, guys, don't worry. So this is just a little bit here. There's a little contraption so that our minecart will be collecting our sugarcane. So you're just going to want to mine out a few blocks in the ground, like I'm doing here. Just a few blocks like this. It should be a 3 by 5. So I've made it a bit too small here. Just make it a bit bigger. And that should be good enough. So, now once you've got this hole in the ground, you're going to want to place a block here, a block going down, a rail going down, and then a powered rail here. After you've done that, you can change these blocks in the ground if you want. Oh, I was wrong. There's supposed to be a hopper here. So there should be a hopper instead of where I just put that block. So just place a hopper going into it. It's quite easy. Then you can place powered rail on top of that. As I was saying, you can remove the blocks in the ground if you want, or you can just put it on the dirt. It doesn't really matter. So you want a comparator coming out of the hopper. You can make this storage bigger if you want. You can just put more hoppers underneath this chest, or you can just have it going downwards, or you can filter it going to a storage system. You can do pretty much anything you want with the output you've got here. After you've got this comparator, you want to put a piece of redstone, another block, redstone torch on top of that, a block on top of that. I can do it. And then 2 more blocks here with redstone dust on top of both of them. And this should be the finished thing. So now you can put a hopper minecart on that if you want. It's not really going to be collecting anything right now, but you can still do it. So it's always a step closer. So that's it for this bit. So this is going to be the final bit of the farm we do to just finish it up for the little bit now and the little bit that's left. So the first thing you're going to want to do for this step is to put water in every single one of these slabs, like I'm doing here. So after you've done all of the water, you can either put the sugarcane on now, or you can put it on after the leaves. So now that all the sugarcane is in place, you're going to need to put leaves on top of every single water source. So just go along every single water source. This is so that the sugarcane doesn't go in the water and then it can't be picked up by the hopper minecart. This might cause issues if you have slime, because it will be bounced along. But as long as you do it exactly the same as I'm doing in the next step, the same step, but in the second part, then it should be fine and the slime shouldn't matter. So now that you've put leaves on top of all of the water sources, you're going to want to leave the back side here. This is the back of the farm. That is the front. You're going to want to leave it, then go over to here to the front and place blocks going across like this, so that you join all the parts together, leaving a bit of an overhang here. So it's overhanging. Make sure you do that on both sides. You can also build this up if you want to. It has to be 3 blocks tall so that no sugarcane gets bounced out of the farm. And don't worry, because you can see that this block is not in line with this, but on the way back the flying machine will get all of the sugarcane. Don't you worry. So we've got this gap here so that the flying machine can fly through, and just build this 3 high leaf wall all the way over to where we have the solid blocks on this side. So this is going to be a floor here made of leaves, just like that, and build it so that the wall goes up to here. Make sure that it's 3 blocks tall. So it's going to go all across there and all across there. So now you've built all the walls, all the way going up to this side where I said the solid blocks are going to be. You're going to need to build out another block like I'm doing here. Just follow exactly what I'm doing. So after this, build the wall on this side, one block over, even more. And this is where we're going to build the back wall. So it's going to be a little different from the front wall because the flying machine's not going to go through it, hopefully. And this is going to be where the flying machine goes back, so it turns into a two-way flying machine. So it turns the opposite direction. So in this corner here, on top of this solid block, you need another leaf block, a normal piston, make sure you're doing this right, a normal piston here, with a line of leaves by here, and by here. Make sure you just cover all around the piston with leaves. And then also you want an observer, not that way, facing this way. And you can fill the rest in with leaves. And after that, on the back, we're going to need some more solid blocks. So let me just quickly get a solid block. What would I don't need the sugarcane anymore. So on the back of this, so we want to build back a couple of blocks, 2 will be fine. Then you put a repeater with 4 ticks on it, and then redstone going across and into the piston. So now you have to look in line where the flying machine is. You can see it's by here, and you're going to place an immovable object by there. You can use any immovable object, but I'm using obsidian because it's the easiest one to get. So this farm is a 1 block center. So if you're being picky, you can put it in the middle if you want to do that. And this should be the farm completely finished. Well done. I forgot to mention this in the tutorial, but for the on and off switch, just come over here to the etho hopper clock and put a lever on this block here. Behind the comparator, on the block, just place a lever and flick that, and then the farm will stop. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed building this farm, and if you didn't and just watched it anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me build it. So, you could even build this little AFK platform here if you want to. You can just build some scaffolding up to it, a few slabs, and you can just stand in here overnight if you want, and then you'll get all the drops and you'll have them in the morning. So, yeah, as I was saying, thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.
When Jimmy Johnny got to the end of this video, he looked curiously at the subscribe button and could not resist the temptation.